Hello everyone. First of all, I would like to welcome you all for our webinar series related with precision agriculture webinar series from manual spraying to smart farming, the drone revolutions in agriculture. Okay, now let's move into our webinar sessions. First of all, I would like to introduce myself to all of you. I'm Kasun Ratnaik, agriculture solution engineer from RC Corner, Dubai. So my mission is bringing the cutting edge technology with practical farming solutions for sustainable agriculture. So I already have some research publications related with precision agriculture technologies, and also I have experiences tropical agriculture practices and precision agriculture technologies like variable rate applications technology, prescriptions map generations, and also multispectral image analysis and vegetation indices calculations, and how we can incorporate that type of details into machine learning and practical agricultural solutions. So in here, this is an overview of our webinar sessions. It consists of 10 chapters including Q&A sessions. In here we will discuss about the evolutions of agriculture, agrochemical evaluations, and we will compare conventional and drone spraying practices. And also we will discuss about multispectral imaging, how we can see beyond the visible spectrums. And also we will discuss about smart farming revolutions, and we will introduce and discuss about our latest DJI Agras T100 drone specifications. And also we compare cost efficiency and performance of some of the agriculture and real world results with you. And later we will discuss about what are the business opportunities in the agri-drone service market. Then as a last chapter we will discuss about the future of agriculture. What are the new trends in the agriculture world? Evaluations of agriculture. In here, do you know there are 6 generations of agriculture? Currently we are in 5th and 6th generation. Some of the countries are currently moving to the 6th generation, but most of the countries are still in the 5th generations. So this is start from Neolithic revolutions, from before Common Era. This domestication process was happen in that area. Most of the people practice agriculture in that area. Then second generation is Bronze and Iron Age revolutions. In here they use some advanced irrigation systems to improve crop productivity in agriculture world. And then after 17th and 19th century, British agriculture revolutions, you know, there are some mechanizations and selective breeding process are started in that area. And in 1940s and between 1992, you know, there is a huge, we call green revolutions. So most of the high yield varieties are produced in that era, and also synthetic fertilizers and pesticides also produced in that area, and also hybridizations and some intensive irrigation practices are started in that time period. Then after 20th century, the most of the countries are moving to some precision farm practices using satellites, AI technology, and IoT like Internet of Things, and also drone technology. So we will discuss about this drone technology in today's webinar sessions. And also they use blockchain technologies. Mainly focus is optimized resource and real-time monitoring to sustainable practices in data-driven decision making. And some of there's a new trends in world. This is called regenerative agriculture. In here they mostly focus about biodiversity conversations, and how we can restore soil health, how we can treat soil, how we can treat environment while generating our requirements. In here, it's mainly focused on reducing reliance on chemical to ensure long-term productivity. Do you have any idea about the current world populations? Actually, it's nearly 7.7 million according to the latest updates. So, but in 2050, the world populations may increase to nearly 10 billion. So, as a result, population growth is 34% from current 7.7 million, with nearly all growth in developing countries. So, with the development of the populations, there is a huge crisis in the world, such as the Food and Agriculture Organization projects need to raise overall food production by 70% between 2010 to 2050 to meet demands. But we have limited facilities. So let's see what are the key challenges in here. You know, we have limited arable lands. We cannot increase our arable lands for agriculture practices. So, and also, you know, due to the industrial revolutions and other things, climate change impacts may happen in near future. Due to that, weather variability and crop yields and growing seasons may be varied due to such impacts. You know, there's a, we call green gas, you know, there are some huge green gases and also ozone depletions. Due to that, weather parameters in most of the zones may be changed in near future. And also, there's a huge crisis in water scarcity. 70% of the fresh water are consumed for agriculture activities. So, and also, especially in production, there may be some labor shortages in future. So, we have to adapt labor shortage with modern technologies. And environmental sustainability. We must reduce emissions and chemical runoff and soil degradations for future. You know, there's a call sustainable development. We must get our requirement while protecting environment and biodiversity. So what is the solutions for that? We can adapt using our drone and precision technology. So the solution is precision agriculture enables sustainable intensification, increasing yields on existing farmland while reducing environmental impact. So here we will discuss about current agriculture market and future predictions of the market growth. You know, the precision farming market experiencing unprecedented growth driven by IoT, AI, drone proliferations, advanced analytics, and the urgent needs for sustainable food production systems. So currently regional market leadership belongs to North America. It's almost 43% are belong to North America. There are technology leaders and early adopters in the modern world. And also Europe, they mainly focus on sustainability. So they create some practices based on sustainability productions. And Asia Pacific and Africa regions. This is a currently fastest growing regions according to the details we have. So still it's growing fastly. So we have key technologies for the incorporate these technologies to our modern farming, such as GPS, GNS guidance. So using that we can get some centimeter level accuracy autonomous operations. And also if we want to get real-time monitoring in field variables such as moisture level and humidity, and also such temperature variations, we can use IoT sensors. And we can use AI and machine learning to create some predictive models to crop management practices. And normally, now currently 500,000 agriculture drones are treating 300 crops in nearly 100 countries around the world. And autonomous machinery, it's in here. Self-driving tractors and robotic systems are the key technologies in modern worlds. And also we can use cloud platforms to centralize our data management to take some real-time data and get decisions. Okay, under chapter 2 we will discuss about agrochemical evaluations. As a precision agriculture practices, we must know about how this agrochemical is evaluated. There are four generations in agrochemical developments. First generation is around 1940s. In here, mostly they use inorganic compounds like lead arsenate, copper sulfate, pyrosulfates, and other mineral-based pesticides. Without purifying, they use directly. So, what are the limitations? The limited efficacy and high toxicity for mammals and persistent environmental contaminations due to the without purifications they use directly. And then after 1940 to 1970, we call second generation of agrochemical. In here, they use chlorinated hydrocarbons like DDT, chlordane, aldrin, like synthetic organic compounds. Compared to the first generation, it's reduced toxicity to mammalians. In 1970s to 2010s, we call as a third generation of agrochemicals. In here, they use organophosphates and carbamates, some malathion, parathion, like chemicals to treat targeted actions. It has some low mammalian toxicity compared to the second generations. And currently we are in fourth generations of agrochemicals. In here, they use microbial insecticides and biopesticides. And Bacillus thuringiensis introduction, biological control agents, and RNA technologies are used. And nowadays, worlds are practicing to use nanochemicals like nanofertilizers and nanopesticides to use in drone-based products. Most of the countries are now create some formulations to apply using drones. So this is the future of the world. Without this type of treatment, we cannot supply our food demands in future. So each generation address limitations of previous one with continuous improvement in efficacy, safety, and environmental compatibility. The trend towards precision application with drones represent the next evaluation of sustainable production. Okay, now we compare conventional spraying versus drone spraying. So what are the advantages of conventional spraying? So it consists of high volume capacity. So ground sprayers can apply large quantities efficiency for blanket applications. There are some tractor mounted spray machines and also boom sprayer and also manned aircraft sprayers like this. So it has a fast coverage and they already established infrastructure. So extensive service network and operator familiarity. And they already have existing equipment to reduce initial investment for farms on machinery. So what are the limitations? What are the limitations of the conventional spraying methods? So mainly, earlier I called, now we are in regenerative agriculture. So mostly focused on how we can treat our soils. So this is a main limitations in modern world. Soil compactions. So heavy equipment damage soil structure, reducing long-term facility. Due to the damage of the structure, it's decrease its texture and water holding capacity and nutrient holding capacity. So that type of soils cannot tolerate and cannot get nutrients and water source to plant. And crop damage. Ground equipment crushes crop. Due to that, some of the yield reductions may be happen. And also weather dependency. So we cannot operate in wet conditions like after the raining and also missing critical application windows. So we must apply our chemicals within a proper time period in critical situations. If we late, we will have to pay it in our yield amount. And also chemical drift, higher drift potentials in conventional spraying methods, and inconsistent applications such as overlap and mismatches can be seen when we are spraying using conventional spraying. Okay, now we discuss about drone spraying. So what are the key advantages of drone spraying? So we can apply precisely using GPS guided with 30 to 50% overlap reductions, and also there is a ability to follow terrain, so we can reach difficult areas, and also we can reach in wet fields after raining also. So compared to the conventional spraying, this is a zero crop damage. The operations is above canopy, so no soil compaction, which is very much suitable for regenerative agriculture. And also we can reduce our chemical by 20 to 40%. Compared to the conventional spraying, this is a somewhat controlled spray. So due to that, we can reduce the drift amount. And also it has a labor efficiency. So we need some single operator to operate that practice. And also it has some health benefit, so compared to the conventional sprayings. So what we should consider about when we are doing drone spray, we must consider about payload capacity. The small tanks need frequent refills, so we will always try to improve our tank capacity. And also battery management, we will require charging infrastructure to battery management. And also most of the countries have regulatory and compliance, so license is must to fly in most of the countries. And compared to the conventional spraying, the initial investment is high. So now let's see about performance metrics compared to the conventional spraying. Drone spraying almost has a 83% point field efficiency compared to the conventional sprayings. And also we can spray more than 40 hectares in 1 hour compared to the conventional. Normally conventional spraying has ability to spray nearly 1 hectares within 1 hour. Conventional spraying has a 38% pesticide drip rate, but in drone spraying we can reduce it up to 60%, 16%. And also we can reduce water usage by drone spraying. So now we will discuss about drone pesticide application manual. This is an end-to-end solutions for safe, efficient and compliant pesticide applications with drones. So in here I will focus on 5 key areas such as pesticide knowledge and understanding of drones, how we safety and environmental friendly, and stewardship topics, and finally how we can train and get certifications. Okay, understanding pesticide types, formulations and labels. There are many pesticides categories in the world, such as herbicides. You heard about glyphosate, MCP, propanil, like herbicides. We can use to target weeds which is competing for nutrients, water and lights. And also fipronil like insecticides we can use to kill or repel insects feeding on plants to avoid spreading disease in our cropland. And also we can use fungicides to control our fungal infections like rust, mildew, blights and other diseases. And we can also use rodenticides to control rodents. And there is agricides also, kills mites and tricks affecting in plant health. So we can use molluscicides to control slugs and snail populations. Nematicides are used to control nematodes in fruits. And also we can use growth regulators to improve or get some improvements in metabolism activities in plants. So what are the key formulation types in pesticide? Easy, it's mean emulsifiable concentrations. It's a liquid formulations which is contain more than 25% to 75% active ingredients. We can dilute it with water. And there's a called powder, vegetable powder. This is a dry formulations. It's almost consist of less than 50% active ingredients. So it's a some of forms of suspension. And water dispersible granules. This is dry granules dispersed in water, and compared to the vegetable powder, it's reduced to dust. Every pesticide has a label. This label is a legal document required by law. Using a product inconsistently with its label in its violations. So it must include product identifier like a brand name and how much active ingredients are there, and also concentration details. And it must label signal words like caution, warning, and danger indicating toxicity. And also it should indicate health risks and personal protective equipment and first aid and environmental precautions. And also it should include directions for use like what are the targeted patterns and how we apply, and how much rates, it means dosage, and timing and restrictions. And it should include how we store and how we dispose after the usage. Right, okay. Now let's move into there's a, do you heard about 6 rights concepts in pesticide chemistry?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, in under PIPS, this is a right way. So in here, this is a way mean drones applications. So when we are using drone applications, we must target rights, and we should consider the right time and right pesticide and right dose with right quality. So otherwise we cannot get best benefit from our applications. Okay, now we will discuss about how we can safely handle from purchase to dispersal. So purchase and procurements. We must choose registered products approved by regulatory authorities, and it should be identify crop requirement and pest disease to be controlled. Then while we are transporting, we must keep chemicals in original label containers designed to prevent leaks, and we should secure containers upright and fast to prevent movements. Use well ventilated vehicle like separated cargo area, avoid passenger compartments. So personal protective equipment such as PPE, we must use gloves, goggles, respirators, protective clothing, and safety helmet while we are using pesticides. And it should be ensure PPE fits properly and it's in good conditions. We must wash hands and face after handling, and we should change contaminated clothing as well. So always we must keep first aid kit available. Now you should know about what are the symptoms of exposure. Next, safe applications. We must follow guidance adhere to application rates such as timing and methods. And also we should consider about weather awareness around us. So we should avoid windy conditions to prevent drips. Otherwise this efficiency is reduced while in applications. And also environmental care. We should avoid water sources and sensitive habitats for beneficial insects. It means we should always target at our main pest. And also we must keep our records like documents, product names, date and rate, and area treated. After the usage, we must dispose our containers properly. We must triple rinse and puncture empty containers, and unused chemical. We never pour down drain to dump on ground. So we must follow local regulations in designated recycling centers or disposal facilities. So if we contact with pesticide, if it is in ice, we must rinse solely with water for 15 to 20 minutes to remove contacts after 5 minutes. So if it's solid, sip water if possible. Do not induce vomiting unless told by doctor. If it is contact on our skin, we must remove contaminated clothing and rinse the skin for 15 to 20 minutes. So what we should do after if I inhale? So we must move to fresh air area. Give artificial respirations if not breathing. Okay, now we will discuss about drone requirements, equipment and nozzle and certification process. So, when we are selecting drones, we must select some criteria like payload capacity for sufficient pesticide volumes and flight time to reduce battery change and advanced stray systems with uniform distributions. And we must consider about high precision GPS and navigations with obstacle avoidance features. And there are two types of nozzles: hydronic nozzles and centrifugal nozzles. Most of the DJI drones have centrifugal nozzles. So this is a very advanced nozzles. We can control our droplet size using the centrifugal nozzles because it has the dual atomization systems. So we must maintain our maintenance protocols like when we are flying, we must follow prepaid checks like examine for damage, any damage in visibly or software wise, and we must ensure verify and battery levels to test control systems. After the first flight, we must check clean pesticide residues, inspect wear and tear, recharge batteries, and we always update our latest firmware, and we also inspect our motor and other components replacements. This one is I want to highlight. We must maintain our logbook to track maintenance and schedule inspections for repairs. So when we are maintaining logbook, we can always monitor our drones usage and requirements for replacements and certification requirements. Now most of the countries require certifications to fly any drones, especially in agriculture drones. So it needs remote pilot license required from national aviation authorities, and also pesticide application certificates. It should be trained on pesticide handling and application techniques. The operator should know basic things about pesticide knowledge, how it's handled, how it apply efficiently, like this. And we must register our drones in aviation authority, label with unique ID. And also equipment and operator should have a insurance coverage as well. So product efficacy and feasible formulations. So most of the trials conducted across multiple countries and published papers. The ULV, ultra low volume, can be directly used as on our drones, but aqueous solutions, emulsions, and soluble liquid extension and suspension concentrations and also oil dispersions have stability qualified after dilution. So we must check before applying to droning, and also emulsify concentrations, sorry, and water dispersal granules and water dispersal tablets requires testing. So wettable powder needs cautions because it's clogged our process. So when we are using chemicals, we are not recommend about microencapsulated chemicals and dustable powder, and also smoke generation formulations. It is not suitable for use in drones. So always we recommend liquid formulations better suited for UVs than solid formulations. And wettable powder and solid liquid extensions may have higher risk to block our hydraulic nozzles. So we must use with caution. And emulsifies concentration formulations. This type of chemicals are easier to evaporate and drift compared to suspension concentration and soluble liquids. So we must do compatibility testing to test physical compatibility at low water volume before use. So we can add adjuvants like surfactants and drip retardants and penetrants to improve efficacy and reduce application rates to minimize environmental impacts and improve the efficiency of our applications. Okay, now we discuss about pre-applications, environmental assessment, and how we set up our drone parameters. When we are consider about windy, it should be optimal range around less than 3 meters per second for get best results while spraying, and we should avoid less than 10 meters. If there is more than 10 meters per second wind speed, we must stop our operations. And also we can improve droplet size to reduce drip potential risks. We can use larger droplets and higher water volumes to drip reduce, and also we can use drip reduction agents in windy conditions. So what are the flight parameters? So water volume. We can use 15 to 45 liters per hectare when we are operating in row cups for spraying. When we are operating in fruit trees, we can use 25 to 100 liters per hectare because fruit trees needs more volume to treat to upper level of the canopy level. And we can use 1.5 meter to 4 meter above canopy level flight altitude. So actually it depends on crop details, crop phenological stages and environmental conditions. We always try to adjust our speed less than 7 meters per second to get better results. Results mean chemical efficiency and improve our productivity. So when we are using orchard, we can use 1.5 to 3.5 meters per second speed while maintaining 3 to 10 meters in row cups and 5 to 10 meters in orchard cups. All the parameters are dependent on crop phenological. If it is in a maturity stage, if it is in a vegetative stage, if it is in a reproductive stage, based on the conditions we can change. So when we are selecting droplet size, most of the occasions we use 60 to 22 micrometer levels for fungicide and insecticides to control pesticide populations in our croplands. So in herbicides, there are some two categories in herbicides, systemic herbicides and contact herbicides. So when we are using contact herbicide, we must increase our droplet size to improve the surface area of the plant to act these chemicals. When we are using systemic fungicides mean they enters to the plant body and kill internally by actioning of that active ingredients. So when we are using herbicides, we must use between 226 to 400 micrometer droplet size range. And when we are using orchard applications, we should use extremely fine to very fine. It means less than 150 micrometers to penetrate into deep lower layer of the canopy. So, and also if there is a mist, fog, dew and smoke hanging, we must stop our spray, otherwise we cannot see the operations and we will not know about the what is the happening going. So there may be some thermal inversions happening in that area due to the low cloud cover, and we should follow pre-flight checklist also. In here we must consider about GPS and compass calibrations and battery level check and weather assessment and test flight conducted. And also we should verify flow rate of the both nozzles. Sometimes it may be changed compared to other nozzles. So if we say the nozzle flow rate is 30 liters per minute, so some nozzles have 10 liters per minute and other nozzles maybe have 50 liters per minute. So we must ensure flow rate verifications in both nozzles, and also we always inspect our nozzles before applications. And also we must identify some buffer zones in the applicable area. If you have WS paper, it means water sensitive papers or OS paper, oil sensitive papers, we can use that papers to monitor field application efficiency level of our drones and monitor the droplet size and how many droplets can be observed in the unit area. So during applications, how we mix, how we load and how we spray executions. So when we are mixing any chemical, we should consider about water quality, like pH should be around 4 to 7. It should be low hardness, clean water. And we can conduct compatibility test before full mixing using test called jar test. So there is a mixing order. We must fill 1/4 or 1/3 of our water first, then follow sequence, like first we use solid fertilizer, second water soluble granules, water soluble permeation and suspension contains emulsifier concentrations, and finally surfactants and fertilizers. We must use immediately after mixings, don't leave overnight. And spray executions, flight mode, we use automatic control with terrain crashing, avoid manual mode. And we must plan our route by following designated routes and obstacle avoidance plans. And always we should have our visions to monitor application status continuously to avoid strike and missing plans and uneven or overlap applications. And we must ensure field edges are covered with chemicals. When we are planning, we must plan carefully during hovering and turning. And risk management, this is something important. We must geofencing, fence sensitive areas in flight control softwares. And we must monitor weather, real-time wind speeds, and we must concern if the wind speed is more than 3 meters per second. And also buffer zone, it should be 3 meters from the sensitive areas, 50 meters for common scenarios. And also use COS or COSA, like more than 300 micrometer droplet size for dip reductions. And if there is a nozzle blockage or something differences in applications in nozzles, we must stop spraying and return to base and clean nozzle, especially when we are using some solid formulations. We must always keep our eye on nozzles. So effective SAT and coverage quality, this is a quality parameters, how we calculate our quality parameters. So how we determine effective SAT by we can use washer sensitive cards or something called dye samples to distributors across light flight paths. and we can calculate coefficients of variations. It should be in the effective swath height is larger swath with coefficient of variations less than or equal in 25%. Then coverage uniformity. This type of variability happens due to equipment setup and operational design or something weather incidents. So drone sprays naturally more variable than ground sprays. We must calibrate our drones. So calibration is critical to keep uniformity in every time. So post applications, cleaning, records and efficacy assessment. So how we clean our equipment after applications. So triple rinse procedure. We must fill tank 1/4 with clean water and detergent. So we must fake vigorously and drain completely. And repeat minimum 3 times. Rinse spray lights, nozzles and filters also. Then we must dry before storage. And something important, the small residues quantities can contaminate subsync mixtures. So wettable powder formulations, we must pay our extra attention to residues accumulations in line. We never use power wash to clean our drones. And records and documentations, it's require informations like date and time of the applications and area treated with coordinates and what are the products applied with the rates, it means dosage, how many chemicals are used for the particular hectare, and application parameters like droplet size, swath weight, speed and crop height of the drone parameters. And we must record environmental conditions like wind speed and temperature like things. And also we should include our operator informations, their pilot license number like that. And we keep records as required by local regulations. We can use warning boards to display in application area to inform our public peoples. So what type of pesticide applied and date, time of the applications, and safety precaution is required, and re-entry intervals. So to efficacy assessment, we can flight data check, verify route and flow data, assess missing areas and take remedial measures after the drone operations. And also we can use field survey methods like 5-point assessment, checkboard methods and zigzag method to middle of the plot. And we must get feedback collections for particular farmer and maintain efficacy records for continuous improvements. And these are the spray quality requirements. So we must keep our spray volume deviations less than or equal 5%. And this is something important. Droplet density. Droplet density should have larger than 15 to 30 centimeter, 30 to in square centimeter. And we must maintain our distribution uniformity in coefficient of terms less than 45% to 65%. And operator skills and training requirements. The most of the countries are requiring certifications for precision drones and spraying applications. Like China, Japan, India, Philippines, like countries already have authorities to issue some certification process. And it's renewal every 3 to 5 years in most jurisdictions. Refresher courses on new technology and regulations. It should update training on new formulations and equipment. And there are some core training components operators should have, like drone operation skills. It should have some basic things about flight and maintenance and autonomous modes and how we handle in emergency situations. And Operators should have pesticide knowledge about formulations and how we can calibrate and how we select nozzles and what are the personal protective equipment we use for safe handling. And also operator should have regulatory compliance, like he should know about aviation laws of their country's aviation authority, and also environmental stewardships and how we maintain buffer zones. And also operator should have agronomical knowledge like crop scouting, pest identification and treatment prescriptions, and also which chemicals used to treat that disease, so that pest outbreak. An operator should have specialized skills like how to plan missions, like how to break large fields into sectors to optimize turnaround time, and also power management, things like know when to trigger return before tank runs dry. And also he should have a radar altimeter for constant height above crops, and should have knowledge about how to handle malfunctions, like and also clock nozzles and what we should after GPS losses. Most of the countries have already built up some regulatory frameworks, like China, Japan, India, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, like countries already established a framework for dedicated standard operation procedures and certifications. Most of the countries, like developing countries, are still developing some frameworks for standard operation procedures. Most of the countries in Africa and Asia are early stage in developing standard operation procedure. There are most of the countries, they have a common regulatory requirements. It must have a dual certification process of pilot license and pesticide application permits. And also some of the registration products, pesticide must be explicitly approved for drone usage. All the chemicals cannot be used to treat using spray drones. And also drone must be registered, and also all the equipment and operator should have insurance coverage. Okay, this is end-to-end solutions, how we can spray our fields using drones. This is end-to-end solutions. So in chapter 4, now let's see how we can see beyond the visible spectrum. Do you have any idea about multispectral imaging? So multispectral imaging, which are the captures from multispectral drones data beyond the visible spectrum, including near-infrared, radiation, green bands. These wavelengths reveal plant health indicators invisible to the naked eye. We have DJI Mavic 3M drones. This is the latest multispectral drones in our DJI platform. And also earlier we have a DJI Phantom V4 multispectral drones. In DJI Mavic 3M, we have a 5-in-1 camera system. It consists of 4 multispectral camera and 20 megapixel RGB camera, and it has a 43 minutes flight time, so we can cover 500 acres in one flight. And also it has a 2.5 centimeter RTK accuracy, so we can get our map with a centimeter level precision accuracy, and it has the ability to furrow terrain also. So multispectral images can be used in some key applications, like to detect crop stress. So we can use NDVI, NDR like indices to identify water stress and nutrient deficiencies and disease outbreak and pest damage before visible symptoms. And also we can use multispectral images to create variable rate applications. while creating prescriptions map for site-specific nitrogen, herbicide and fungicide applications, and also we can use to zonal management practices. And also we can use multispectral images to plant counting and stand uniformity. So accurate plant counts, gap detection and emergence mapping and raw uniformity analysis with AI powered analytics. So this may help to increase our yield and improve our productivity in unit area. So, and also we can use to detect weeds and management. So we can monitor weeds patches using multispectral images as well, and we can use to maintain soil health and drainage mapping. And also we can use our multispectral images to create some elevation models like vegetation elevation models, and to this type of models we can use to plan our irrigations and drainages also. So okay, I will share one of the videos which is used to detect weed patches in paddy cultivations. So in 2021 I have done this real world example. So okay, I will share. Okay, this type of technologies we can use to detect wheat patches in our crop area, like in paddy, wheat and sugarcane like fields. In 2021, we did some research to identify wheat patches in a broadcasters paddy field in earliest time. So in here we can differentiate wheat patches and paddy in the age of the 21 days after broadcasting. So this type of maps we can used to create prescriptions mapped and spraying our targeted wheat patches while reducing chemical usage. Okay, now let's see how multispectral imaging works. So multispectral sensors capture reflected light across 44 to 10 distinct wavelengths. You know, there are 7 visible wavelengths in our visible range. Other than that, radiation and near infrared we can capture using multispectral images. Multispectral image system detect subtle physiological changes in plants days on weeks before visible symptoms appear. So you know, in photosynthesis, most of the plants are absorbed blue and red light wavelength while reflecting green wave. So while strongly reflecting near infrared light, the unique spectral signal enables non-destructive wide area crop assessment. There are 5 spectral bands we used in agriculture related things. So we use blue wave bands and green, red, reddish and infrareds. So blue, green, red we are mostly related with the chlorophyll content of the particular plant. So we can use that spectral bands to detect and monitor crop health of the plants. And also reddish. This band is early state indicator. We can use this reddish bands to detect some stressors like biotic and abiotic stresses in plants. And also near infrared bands we can use to biomass and canopy. So early stress detection capability. Multispectral images can identify stress indicators related to water deficiency, fungal activity, soil variations and nitrogen imbalance. And also we can use detect pest pressure and disease onset. NDVI is the most commonly used vegetation indices in agriculture. So here you can observe dead leaf. It reflects less near infrared compared to healthy leaves. So we can generate some images to detect stress area and healthy area in a particular plant fields. In healthy dense vegetations, NDVI index should have a 0.6 to nearly 1 compared to the bare soil and dead vegetations. And also we can use near normalized differential radages as well to detect crop health. And also we can use vegetation indices in different stages of the crop cycles. So we can use NDVI and OSAB indices to monitor health condition of the early to mid season in the particular crops. And also in maturity and ripening stages we can use NDR and chlorophyll content index to detect nitrogen in stresses and also chlorophyll content availability like things. And also we can use normalized difference moisture index and moisture stress index to detect water stress in the particular crop area. And early detection advantages is radish based indices can identify disease related stress 1 to 2 weeks before visible symptoms appear in standard RGBO ND. We can understand pest outbreak like and also biotic and abiotic stresses in less than in economic damage level. These are some of the real world applications in sugarcane plantations I have used to detect some stressors in sugarcane plantations. So in here I use 10 vegetation indices like chlorophyll radius, NDVI, UCI, DVI and grain normalized differential vegetation indexes to understand different stressors level of the particular sugarcane plantations. And we can use this type of technologies in any crops or any field using multispectral images, and software, using softwares we can calculate and manually adjust our vegetation indices to get some information about particular crop conditions. So there are some softwares we can use to create some vegetation indices and create some drone based maps. So we can use GIS platforms like QGIS and ArcGIS softwares to create and visualize this type of data and index calculation purposes and create prescriptions maps as well. QGIS is open source software. You also can try QGIS software. And there are some softwares, Pix4D, DJI Terra, DJI Smart Farm Web, Agisoft Metashape and WebPodium. These all are paid versions of the softwares. So Pix4D field is basically designed for agriculture purposes such as mapping and create prescriptions mappers and create some vegetation indices and zonation analysis like things. So you also can try DJI Terra and DJI Smart Farm Web platforms to create prescriptions maps. Maybe in next webinar we will deeply discuss about this type of techniques we can use for create some maps and create some vegetation indices as well. And also there are some integrated farm management systems like Climate View, CropWise and Farmers Edge. This is actually some of the database. We can create some data and we can use this type of data to integrate farm management automatically. This is a software workflow, how we can get decisions after taking images. So we can use drone, satellite and ground-based sensors to capture multispectral imagery with calibrated sensors. Then we can process using radiometric calibrations and creating orthomosaic generations, band alignment and georeferences. Then after we can create and calculate vegetation indices. So these indices we can use to zone delineations, classify fields into management zones based on index values and spatial patterns. Then after we can create some prescriptions map to generate variable rate applications map to fertilizers, seeds or chemical inputs. Finally we can upload this prescriptions map to our machinery or automated variable rate spraying, seedings or fertilizers. We can upload this type of maps to our DJI drones to make some prescription applications. Most of the cloud platforms take 2 to 4 hours for 100 tackle piece, but in desktop versions it may be vary due to resolutions and hardware. And also we can update using drones images or satellites weekly, bi-weekly or maybe 3 to 5 days interval to create some maps to understand variability happens in particular field area. So now we move to chapter 5, Smart Farm Revolutions, IoT, AI, Drone and Connected Agriculture. So I have categorized 6 powerful smart farming innovations for 2025. So first one is smart field sensors. It can take real-time measurements of 50 field variables like moisture, nutrients, pH, temperature, humidity and plant health. So we can mostly this type of techniques are used in protected agriculture techniques in greenhouses like and shelter plants like things. And AI powered drones, multispectral cameras, thermal sensors and real-time data transmitters for crop health analysis and precision applications. And smart irrigation, automated water management using soil moisture sensors. In here we use soil sensors to smart irrigation using crop water requirement and water availability like parameters we can use to create some smart irrigation techniques. And also precision robots, there are some autonomous machines for seeding, weeding, fertilizing and harvesting with minimal human intervention. Due to the labor scarcity in the near future, we must adapt this type of techniques. And also we can, satellite and blockchain technology to verify food origin, compliance tracking and sustainability records from farm to fork. This type of, especially in blockchain technologies are now mostly used in this type of logistic and compliance working. And clouds IoT platform. This is a centralized analytics and remote control and AI advisory systems via web mobile dashboards. Like I mentioned earlier, there are some integrated farm management techniques. This is cloud-based IoT platforms. So we can use in future for smart farming innovations. So most of the innovations are rated high for environmental sustainability. So it means our world is moving to sustainable practices. So machine learning in agriculture. So deep learning revolutions. So neural networks. This is a foundation of modern computer vision in agriculture. These deep learning models automatically learn hierarchical features from images to edges texture. And we can use YOLO family to detect object. And also some of the training models have ResNet 50, DenseNet 1-to-1, like training models we can use to detect some disease in many crops. And we can use machine learning techniques to detect crop disease and also create some yield prediction models. So deep neural networks combine multiple data sources to forecast crop yields with unprecedented accuracy, enabling better planning and resource allocations. So in here, we can use input data source as vegetation indices, weather data, and also soil properties and genotype information, and also historical yield data, and satellite images also. So in next slide, I will describe about some of the practical example of the machine learning techniques. So there are some emerging applications like pest prediction using AI models and weed detection used for targeted herbicide applications like these. And also we use quality assessment to automatic grading of fruits and vegetables using computer visions. I think most of you have somewhat familiar with the sugarcane. So bricks, pole and CCS is very much important in sugarcane yield prediction. So we use UAV like multispectral images and ground sampling to create some correlations, and then after we create machine learning models like linear regression, random forest and support vector regressions to select best algorithm to create prediction models to bricks, pole and CCS.
Question answer. Share. Only 15 minutes left.
Right? Okay, sorry for the interruptions. Look, can you see my screen? Yeah, right, okay. Thank you. So now we will move into our flagship drones model DJI Agras T100. It consists of spraying system and spreading systems, and also heavy lifting systems. In here, spent system consists of 100 liter capacity. So this is the largest tank capacity in our DJI fleet. It consists of flow rate as 40 liters per minute when we are using 4 nozzles options. If we use 2 nozzles, it has a 30 liters per minute flow rate, and also it has a spray width as between 5 to 13 meters. So we can use like in orchard applications effectively. And also, like other drones, it has a droplet size between 50 to 500 micrometer adjustable range. The speeding systems has the hopper capacity as 150 liter. It means it can uplift maximum uplift as 100 kilograms, with the spread rate as 400 kilograms per minute. And also it can adjust the granule range to 0.5 to 10 millimeter range. And also it has a spread width as between 3 to 10 meter. This drone can lift the up to maximum payload as 100 kilograms with the tether length as 10 meter. And also it has auto navigations and auto balance systems. So our DJI Agras T100 has a max speed as 20 meters per second. So we can coverage 5 to 6 hectares within one flight. And also it has a fast charging abilities. So you can charge your batteries within 8 to 9 minutes time. Okay, now let's move into the cost efficiency and performance of the real world results and ROI analysis. So you can use our drones in many crops like paddy, maize, sugarcane, tea, banana and mango in different occasions, like as a pre-applications, post applications and foliar applications, and also if we want to apply as a ripening applications in sugarcane, we can use. So I will share one video about practical applications in sugarcane cultivation. Can you see on my screen? Can you see? Okay. Okay, here we use our T25 drones to foliar applications purposes in sugarcane. Like we cannot apply fertilizers after 3 months due to the canopy coverage of the sugarcane plants. So best options and one of the solutions is we can use our drones to apply foliar fertilizers. Okay, now we we'll move into the economic benefits and cost comparisons of the. So we can reduce our chemical cost around 20 to 40% while we will apply precision applications and eliminate overlap and waste. And also we can minimize 30 to 50% water usage. Because this is a battery powered drones, we can eliminate our fuel cost 100%. And also we can cut our labor cost between 60 to 70%. So as we need single operator manage multiple drones. And also soil compaction savings. It's just one of the significant features we have using this type of drones in the term of sustainability. And also we can coverage more than 100 acres within 1 hour. And also it has a field efficiency around 83%. And also it has a less value of the 60% of pesticide threats. And we can cover return on investment within maybe 1 or 2 seasons. There are some additional benefits as well using drone. It has a timely intervention, prevents crop losses, and improve yield through precision management. And we can operate nighttime as well. You see that we apply already in night. And enhance worker safety and with the interdependent operations. So what are the business opportunities in agri-drone service markets in real world? The global drone agriculture service market is experienced robust growth and driven by smart farming adaptation, labor shortage, and government subsidies for precision agriculture. Most of the governments are now moving to this type of technologies while serving some subsidies and some loans for the drones purchasing like this. And China is a global drones leader in our world, and also Japan, Brazil, and US also rapid adaptation process. So what are the profitable business models we can use in current situations? So spraying and mapping services. We can generate spraying and mapping services as a business model we can cover more than 50 hectares per day. And also drone rental and leasing. This has a potential revenue in many countries. And also we can start training and certification process. It's essential factors when we are using drones in our plantations. And also there is a high demand in certified drone pilots also. And also we can create some repair and maintenance highly demand services, low setup cost. So what is the future of agriculture? So the future trends and technologies, swarm robotics, low cost fleets collaborating on large scale field tasks for unprecedented efficiency. And also in the breeding, phenotyping is very much essential in breeding programs. So we can use autonomous phenotyping to create some traits using advanced breeding programs. And also we can create bio-inspired robots like nature-inspired design like gecko grippers for delicate handling. And also explainable AI, transparent decisions making to improve trust in autonomous systems. And so fifth one, RAS, robot as a service. This is subscription models making technology accessible to small farms. So in near future, as a solution of the labor scarcity, this RAS model will be implemented in many countries, especially in Western countries and in protected agriculture techniques. Okay, thank you very much for joining today's webinar sessions. If you have any questions related with our operations, you can send your emails to our email address sales@rccorner.com, and also you can visit our website www.rccorner.ae. And also you can subscribe our YouTube channels and other platforms to get latest updates about model works and practical solutions in drone applications. So we will meet in next webinar sessions. Till then, okay, bye. Thank you very much for your joining.